Dear students, now the curriculum of MSc Final Zoology of this university comprises of 4 papers, the first 2 being the general papers and the other 2 being the special papers. Of the 2 papers which are of general category, in a sense that they have to be studied by all the students, the paper second is entitled Animal Ecology and Animal Behavior, in which you all would be studying animal ecology and animal behavior. I would be discussing with you all the study of animal behavior. So, to start with, today I would introduce you to this subject of animal behavior. Each one of us, when we see the nature around, we find it very fascinating. So, nature is quite simply fascinating. There are so many, if you look around, you find animals, plants, birds, and so many other insects, butterflies, beautiful butterflies for flying around. So there are such a lot of variety of organisms around you, and these animals definitely affect the lives of human beings in numerous ways, and knowing about what they do enables us to make the best use of them, because the human being always have had a tendency to use and exploit the things around them, may it be living or may it be non-living. So may it be the organisms or any other non-living thing. Some of the things that animals do are curious, striking and perplexing, forcing the inquisitive human to wonder and to question. And really we wonder, oh, how, why, how can they do so? How can they communicate with each other? The birds chirping around, how would they know where the food is available? So there are so many questions, and it is towards answering these questions that the study of animal behavior or ethology came into existence. Further, just as aspects of anatomy can be used to indicate the relationship between species, so too the behavioral characteristics tend to be shared between close relatives. So the study of this behavior has suggested that there are certain anatomical characters you must have studied in the subject of evolution, where we try to establish a relationship between the closely related species, saying that they seem to be associated or they seem to be closely related because of these anatomical characteristics, because of these anatomical features. Similarly, the behavioral characteristics also help us establish relationship between species or those which are closely related to each other. Animal behavior today is studied by both the psychologists and the ethologists. When we say or when we use the term psychologist, it mainly concerns with the human beings. And when we say ethologist, it is mainly the biologists or those studying typically the animals. Ethology is the study of animal behavior. It is a discipline with long traditions and one of the few non-medicine biological disciplines that have generated Nobel Prizes. We generally find that the Nobel Prize is given to medical people, in researchers, those who conduct research in medicine and physiology. But ethology has been a subject where a Nobel Prize has been given to ethologists or naturalists who have been working or who have been studying animal behavior. The behavior of animals is fundamental to whether individuals will survive and reproduce, and studying their behavior is therefore essential to fully understand evolution. Ethology deals with 2 types of causal explanations to behavior. One that deals with motivational mechanisms and the experience of animals as causing the behavior, that is termed as the proximate explanations, and the other that deals with selection pressures and phylogenetic factors that cause the evolution of behavior, and that is the ultimate explanations. In ethology, we are interested in and study both the proximate and ultimate levels of animal behavior. These two levels complement each other and help us achieve a more complete understanding of animal behavior and evolution. Having both levels in perspective also help us ask the right kind of questions, taking into account both an evolutionary and a more mechanistic approach. So, behavior is everything an animal does. It includes all gestures, postures, expressions, movements, vocalization, color change, emission of light, and pheromones. So, whatever an animal does, may it be in the form of its presentation, its expression, its movement, its sound production, and anything, color change, all this is its behavior. Ethology is the systematic scientific study of animal behavior. A behavior is performed by organism using its muscular, nervous, skeletal, and hormonal systems. Scientists who study animal behavior are called as ethologists. They work in forests, in national parks, in reserves using camera, binocular, stopwatch, and so on and so forth. They watch animals in their natural habitat, study wide variety of animals from very small insects, maybe ants, to large animals like the elephants, maybe from small weevils to whales, and of course from protozoa to primates. All groups of organisms are studied. Not a single group is left behind, because every individual, every organism which has taken birth has a very specific behavior. They deal with visible actions, which includes innumerable types of behavioral acts, and correlate behavior with environment or vice versa. Reasons to study ethology. Why one should study ethology? It could be a question. So, first of all, to satisfy our curiosity about animals all around us. This is the very first criteria. We just want, where we are living, we are inhabiting an ecosystem, and there are so many things around us. So the first question is always, we are always curious about what are the things which are around us and how are they reacting, how are they acting, how are they behaving. So definitely we need to study ethology. To achieve a better understanding of the species we share the earth with, management of those species we depend for food and recreation, to control agricultural pests, to maintain ecosystem, we must know to protect endangered species and our future generation to see them too. This could be one reason. Understanding our own behavior, studies of how animals make social groups, learn and develop vocalization, many other behavioral acts provide unique insights into the development and neural control of speech in humans. It has formed an important bridge between the molecular and physiological aspects of biology and ecology. And today we know that this subject, ethology, it has led to the formation of a very important bridge between molecular and physiological aspects. It has become a link between organisms and environment, and between the nervous system and the ecosystem. Behavior is recognized as one of the most important functions of animal life. It plays a critical role in animal adaptations and evolution, because through behavior, an organism interacts with its environment. This science has made important contributions to other disciplines like anthropology, sociology, psychology, environment, evolution, and sociobiology. Ethology today has applications to human behavior, to neurosciences, to the study of animal welfare, and to the education of future generations. Basic behavioral studies on reproductive behavior have led to improved captive breeding methods for near extinction species like whooping cranes, golden Lyle tamarins, cotton-top tamarins, and many domestic animals. Study of behavior of animals has benefited human in many ways. One recent example is the potential to successfully predict earthquakes through the use of toads, which were found to detect and respond to a seismic event before it happened. This has been reported by Grant and Halliday in 2010. So, there are many studies and many reports which are available. Once you start studying animal behavior, definitely each one of you, there would be, if it would inculcate a sense of studying the nature around you, finding new things, exploring the environment around you, seeing how the world, how the organisms around you interact with you. And this definitely, I am sure, after we finish up with the study of behavior, once you get into this subject, you yourself would be in the field, and there would be many new things which you would come across, and maybe you would discover some new things and would contribute to the study of animal behavior. Thank you.